I've had some coaches ask me recently about how you do endings with clients, and it is important to have a good ending. Now, sometimes we think that the end is the end, and of course it isn't. Actually, the person decides they want to continue with us, they decide that they want to have additional sessions, or they might come back after a break and join a group that you run or something different. So an ending is never really an ending, but we still want to end the series, the arc of the sessions that we've had together well. Now, if you've been a good coach, you probably feel like you've formed a really good rapport, a really good relationship with that coaching client. And so therefore you are entitled, you should feel a bit sad when things come to an end, because we've seen them on that path of transformation. We've seen them do things that they didn't think they were capable of, start to make those changes that they'd been really struggling with, that they couldn't have done on their own. So it's okay to feel a bit sad when an ending is in sight. So the way that I like to do the ending itself is to make sure that both of you are clear that this is an ending. It could be another beginning to another phase, but actually ultimately what you've done together, you've met your agreements, you've finished your contracted work together, whatever it was that you initially agreed has come to an end, and it is time to at least pause and reflect on how things have gone for you both. So I always start an ending session with that kind of zooming out. Let's kind of, take that helicopter view and say, where were you when you started this process, and where are you now that you finished it? What are the things that have really helped you along the way to make that transformation possible in your life? And then I might reflect on, what were those kind of key insights, those nuggets of wisdom that you would really like to remember for future experiences or challenges that you might face? How can we capture those and make sure that we've got those kind of really cemented and embedded in our memory to provide us with those coping strategies when we need them? Then I like to kind of ask if there was anything that specifically helped them. Is there anything that comes to mind about a particular conversation or a particular question that helped them to really get that insight? Because you'd be amazed at how specific those tiny little transformational light bulb moments can be. And so what great feedback to get for you as the coach as well, to understand what it was that really worked for that client. That might be useful for that client in the future or for a different client too. Then I like to just kind of summarize a little bit about what I've seen in terms of the person's change. How have I seen them adapt, evolve, grow and develop as a client, as a human being, from the start of our relationship together to today? What does that look like? And sometimes offering that sense of outside perspective can be really interesting for the client, because you will see things in them that they may not see for themselves. And then finally, I might just ask for kind of how would we like to sort of end this? Was there anything that I could do differently with another client, or anything that was particularly useful for them? Get that little bit of feedback. I don't want the whole session to be about me as the coach. We're still all about the client, but a sense of what was helpful. Was there anything that you think I did well, or anything that I could do differently that would be of benefit to other clients that I want to serve? And then that kind of okay, how are we leaving this? What would you like to happen in terms of staying in touch? Would you like to receive my newsletter? Would you like me to get in contact with you in a few months' time and check in and see how you're doing? So I hope that's a good sort of starting point in terms of how we do endings well. And always remembering that, of course, a referral, a testimonial, all of those sorts of things might still happen.